All right, we made it back. What up, Facebook? A couple of YouTubers on here. Hey, man, if you guys would, while we're waiting on a couple people to jump in here, go ahead and share this, man. Let's get some people to see this. We got 6 whole people in here right now. I want to see 26. I kind of ran out of time. I was gonna put a few videos on here from our race Saturday. I have time. I'll just be driving. Can't do shit while I'm driving. But I mean, the Brawl didn't disappoint. It was good times, and we will be back. It's a little different. It's always different. Everywhere we go is just a little bit different. But the Brawl was a good time. It was definitely a sketchy surface. Hey, and I really appreciate, normally we go off the trailer, but I appreciate them doing their test and tune because a lot of our guys was out to lunch. Everybody got in about 3 or 4 test hits. The first one I was just like, man, what do we even do? So about 3 or 4 into it, everybody's spinning less, a little less white smoke, and I was thinking, all right, it's finna be a race. And it was a good race. What up, Jenny? What up, Shane? Do I have yeah, actually I do. Man, I was gonna put together a little video from our race on Saturday. I just ain't had time. Time is a mother trucker, man. I be trying to have time, but there's only 24 in a day, and my 24 is spent doing stupid shit, like working, paying bills, working, driving, taking care of kids, feeding them. So I might try to do that tonight. Just get a little something together. Jenny said, different is a nice word to say. Hey, but did you have a good time, though? It was a little chaotic, and I ain't saying it was chaotic because it was chaotic. It was chaotic because it wasn't what we were used to. They ran that race smooth as fuck. Like, I was skeptical going into it. You know, especially seeing, like, the time. You know, they had a time for everything, and, like, I don't really have a time, but you know, once drivers meeting's over, it's game time. They had it figured out. They did a good job. Brian did a good job. Derek did a good job. What's Derek's daughter's name? Courtney. Courtney did a good job. She basically has my job as far as lining up everything after the chip draw. She did the chip draw. She did a good job. I don't have nothing bad to say about anybody up at the Brawl. It was good. It was just different. It ain't nothing wrong with different. I'm willing to learn. They was willing to learn. So we had a good time. But the 8th mile burnout, yeah, I do got that. I got that. I got every pass except for maybe 2 or 3. At least in our 4 classes, I got all of them. What up, Nick? What's up, Adam K? Shane said... Shane said he hates that surface. Big ups to Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy's one of those guys that, like, you don't know if he can turn it down enough. Like 632 on a shitty surface. Like, can you turn it down enough? By the finals, he was making it happen though. You know, Jimmy didn't make it to the winner's circle, but he was definitely way better than he was in the beginning rounds of testing. Oh yeah. Check this out. So Jenny had made a post and tagged me yesterday. Anybody know Tanner's last name? He was the dude in the Dodge, the red and white maybe Dodge truck. It was running King of the Cornfields. I just want to give credit where it's due. Like, I can just put Tanner on our points, but anybody know Tanner's last name? Yeah, it was tough. Oh, Adam, I just see your picture. You're the dude in the white privilege. That thing was cool shit. It was moving too. Like, is that your home track, Adam? Is that are you from up north? Is that your spot? Yeah, that thing. I stopped over in your pits and talked to you for a minute. He said, "I'll sell it." I was like, "You should. You should sell it. Fucking sell everything." But I might buy it. What are you doing? How much you want for that thing? The old Cuddy is clean. That thing was so clean. Oh, that's why it was clean right there. Second time out. Now that thing was clean. Like, you popped the hood on that thing, it got my attention. I dig it. I would like to. Yeah, beautiful G body, man. That thing. If you stopped and checked it out, like, he had it all together. That thing was clean. Like, he had good parts on it, and it wasn't slow. It was fast. It was a competitor, maybe especially at some of our races that are not the Brawl surface. I feel like I'm like down here. I need to be up here. I need a phone book to sit on. I can't find the Facebook cup, so we're just gonna drink them out of the non-insulated cups today. Adam K. Hey, you know what's funny is on our score sheet, I literally wrote Adam K. K-A-Y. I thought that was his name. Like, nobody told me he had like a whole unpronounceable last name, so I wrote K. But now I see why he wrote K. It wasn't K-A-Y. It was just K with a period. Adam's your hero. Hey, the old problem child. It was moving. It did all right. I seen you race the bike. You should have raced that four wheeler though. That four wheeler was no slouch. He said he might have been the fastest dude on the property, but the king of the cornfield dudes were not having that. Like, I think they were scared they were gonna swerve and run his ass over or something. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, you don't feel comfortable lining up with a bike or a four wheeler. It seemed to go pretty straight, but it also kind of was all over the lane. I don't know if that's what the deal was, but our rule for King of the Cornfields must have doors, so I think they were just trying to stick to the rules. But man, the Brawl was a damn good time. And that was the easiest race that like we've ever had. Like, we've teamed up with some people before, and it's went one way or the other, but man, they had a whole staff. Like, they did it. They've been doing it. They've been doing it since 2017. You know, we've been doing it since 2020. They've had a few years, and that was the 50th Brawl. Like, we ain't got 50 races under our belt, and we run pretty smooth. But they got 50 races under their belt after this weekend. Look at this. Brian is right. Problem child equals fuck your ears. Hey, and Nick, he had come up to me and was like, he's like, do I at least win something for having the loudest car? I'm sorry, Nick. You wasn't the loudest car. That goes to Mason Durf. Mason got the loudest car. And probably the fastest. He didn't get to line up next to you, but that's the dude. He would dog walk that ass on a shitty surface. That thing is no joke. So we couldn't give you, Nick, man, we couldn't give you the fastest or loudest car award, but I be seeing you on the internet. Like, you keep that shit up, we might give you the loudest mouth award. Alan says he's going back. Got to figure it out. Yeah, everybody should figure it out. I would like to go back, and next time we'll do it with we'll do it our style. They had it figured out. They did a great job. But I think we could do it too. I think we could definitely do it pretty fast. Like, hey, we had 11 o'clock curfew, and we got done. Shit, maybe 11 or 10:30 maybe. So it was good. They did it. Big props to the Brawl team. All of them. So we got a couple winners on here tonight. Our small tire winner will be on. The banger winner, he's kind of busy. He might make it. I don't know yet. Let's see who else we got. Small tire banger. We got Joel Chaffant. He won big tire, or the king of the cornfields. He might be on here in a little while. But for now, let's start with a champion in the gang. This guy. I don't know why you're so small down there, Ryan.
I don't know either.
Big horsepower. You get a small window.
It's like my on them hard tires.
Maybe that'll figure it out. I don't know. I have options on this piece of shit. I can make you really little.
There we go.
Look, there's me. Hey, I'm gonna have to go over here. Stage left. There you go. So what's up, man? I seen when testing started, like, it wasn't just you, it was like all of our guys. I was like, we're about to get our ass kicked.
Yeah, like, man, I don't know.
Second round of test and tune coming around, third round, I'm like, man, it's getting better, but none of these cars are competitive. And then somehow, by the first round of our race, everybody had it together. And you were one of them, so good job.
Thank you. Like, I don't know, I was pretty confident my kind of dirt road tune-up around here would have went down, and it was way too hot, but luckily we got to test.
Yeah, you know what I like about surfaces like that is, like, that's the bottom of the barrel. Like, if you showed up to a shitty road anywhere in America, you got that tune to rely on.
Yeah, like, we practiced on a county road, and normally
it was worse than that. It was worse than the county road. It was better than the county road. Oh, the Brawl surface was worse than the county road?
Absolutely.
See? Like, that's always a starting point, right? We'll just go back to the Brawl tune.
Yeah. That's what we were saying at the end of the night. We got something to work with if we ever go back.
All right. Or not even there. Like, I feel like we've been to shittier surfaces, not with Hoosier No Prep as a series, but, like, I've seen shittier surfaces. So that place, it was good compared to some of those, but, that's not what we get to race at as a series. So, no, I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of you, especially just for making it all the way through it. Showing up in the winner circle.
We needed that one, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we haven't posted the points yet, but I think you took the lead, didn't you?
I think so. I don't know. I try not to think about that stuff. Kind of takes the fun out of it sometimes.
Sometimes you got to have a strategy, though. You got to have a game plan. So, going into our next race at Salem, you know the guy that was in first, Rodney. He gonna be there.
Oh yeah.
So we can always throw that Brawl tune up in there, and you can't go wrong with that dude. At least you're gonna go A to B, right?
Yeah, but I think we get stomped if we put that tune up in at Salem. Salem gets pretty good.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Especially if you're running one of those Kentucky guys down there. They don't play. They're serious about that Salem stuff.
Yeah, it's their home track anymore, and they got it figured out.
Yeah. Well, our next two races are there, so hopefully we can show up and show out and give it to them.
I hope so.
I know I like all the Kentucky guys, but they are fast down there, man. They really are. But it's almost like their home turf.
And we've become really good friends with all of them. So I mean, it's just like racing your buddies every time you go down there. It sucks, but it's fun at the same time.
Yeah, I wish all those guys that hang out down there in Salem. I wish they would come to more races because they're a pretty fun group to be around. And they cook breakfast, so stay the night.
Them guys, they've taught me and Jerry quite a bit, on the whole hard tire thing. So
yeah, and that's a good thing. I think that's what a lot of guys that just follow our series, like they kind of help each other out. There's a big I don't know what you want to call it, family, brotherhood, whatever else. Like, everybody wants to see everybody do better. It's not just like a big secret every week when we show up. And I like that shit because, anybody that needs help them out because it's going to make better racing at the end of the day. I mean, if they spank you because of whatever knowledge that you gave them, I mean, it is what it is, but then it's going to turn around and help them guys get faster too. So
that's what we've been doing with Jamie's car as well. Like, we randomly met him at Salem last year, and turns out he lives 10 minutes away from us. And
so y'all practicing on the same county road?
Yeah.
He'll get down on a county road?
His car's coming around. We surprised a lot of people when we went testing last weekend. Or 2 weeks ago.
Jamie's. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't really remember because I was kind of busy, but I feel like Jamie's car was one of them in hard tire that surprised me right out the gate. Or, I mean, testing. In testing, he made solid passes all day as far as I know.
Yeah, I think the MR2 that I was against in the finals, I think he lost by a car to him, so
yeah.
He's come a long way in a short period of time with it.
And Eric, he's one of those guys, like, he's a good tuner, so that would suck to get spanked by a 4-cylinder, but, at least it's a guy that he knows what he's doing.
For sure. I mean, I've seen him, I don't know, a few years now racing everything, so.
Yep, Jamie's good people. Even Jimmy said that place is tough. He made it to the finals. He ended up losing to Joel Chaffant. He's going to be on here in a little while, I think. But that was a good one. I think all the finals were pretty good. The small tire final, that was pretty wild. That was 2 fast cars.
Yeah, I remember seeing that truck at War in the Woods.
I don't really remember. Like, I don't know if I've seen it or not, but they said he made it purpose built for that track. Like, that is his home track.
I think
so that makes sense why he's fast out there. You seen him on YouTube?
Yeah, like up at Milan on the backside, and it looked pretty quick up there.
Yeah. That was definitely a cool looking car. Like, you never know what to expect when you see something that's rusty and 2 big old whirly boys hanging out the front of it. You just never know. Like, it's either going to be fast or a shit show. He chose fast that day, so Big props to him.
One of our buddies that was with us, he seen the two RX-7s show up on the same trailer, and he was kind of giving them
Yeah.
shit. I told him, I said, one of them two is going to be in the finals, if not both of them. And I think Chase was in the
Show up.
finals. Right?
Yeah. Show up with a trailer with a whopping like 4,000 pounds worth of race cars on
Yeah.
it. But they were fast. They're fast everywhere, especially on that sketchy shit, backside stuff, virgin road stuff. Like, I was wondering, afterwards, I had like bum rushed to Indianapolis for a street race, and I was wondering, can we get some hard tire cars on the street? Would you race that thing on the street? If we lined something up, would you race it?
I don't know. Kind of depends where it's at. I've never went to anything like that, to be honest.
Oh, sounds like we need to just introduce you.
I mean,
I think it would be all right. Hey, and that reminds me, what impressed me the most about the whole street race deal is like they're straight up small tire cars. Like we got Trashy out there, we got Sullivan's Mustang, Tyler Nation's out there, like Hillbilly Hustler. Like there's some fast shit out there, and then Chuck Todd shows up with the S10, which I didn't know before that it was a stick car or that it was naturally aspirated, because I'm pretty sure last time I seen it he had like a nitrous bottle on the back. But dude, he launched that thing and jumped out like 3 cars. So like he's not a hard tire guy, but man, he would sure make a fun banger car. Chuck Todd, somebody tag Chuck. I need Chuck to race the banger class.
I told him last night he needs to get in on it.
Yeah, hell yeah. That thing it surprised the shit out of me. Like, it was fast. It was fast.
And it looks like he drives it all over Indy too, so that's even, even better.
Well, where I had seen the nitrous bottles is when I seen you and Jenny at the Cars and Coffee thing at the Pizza Junkies. So like he drove it there. It wasn't no trailer. Like he drove it there. So yeah, like that thing surprised me. That was probably the thing that surprised me the most out of any of the cars that were there. Like I seen the Jeep with the turbo, the twin turbos and stuff, and he raced a Track Hawk and all that. But I feel like he probably would have dog walked them dudes too with that old banger S10. So maybe we can talk him out. We need a few more banger guys to talk him into it. Like I feel like he doesn't think it's fast enough or something, but from what I seen on the street, that thing was gone. I wish I could post a video of it. If y'all could give me a minute, I'll upload it. Then I'll have to go through it and look, but I don't know. But it was fun watching that thing. I didn't even know that was him. Like I got there late. I had missed the first 3 pairs on the street. So by the time I got there, like I pulled up right in front of Patrick's open trailer. He didn't even bring the stacker. So I pulled up in front of Patrick's trailer, and as soon as I pulled up, like he's hopping in a car and heading to the line. So that's where I went to. But I think in the first round, I missed him. So second round, I caught him and was just blown away by how fast that thing was. And I didn't even know it was a stick. I've never seen a third pedal in that thing, but everybody said it was a stick, so I'm going to believe him.
Yeah, I think he said he just had to rebuild the transmission or get it done or something like that a few weeks ago.
Transmissions he got in that thing, do you know?
I don't know.
Is anything special?
No, that I don't know.
I just know that off the line, man, he jumped 2-3 cars. Boom, he was gone. Like, you don't have to catch up to that guy. But I would like to see some hard tire stuff on the street. That would be fun. If we can line it up, are you in?
I don't know. Depends.
Don't be like that. Just say yes. It would be safe-ish. There's always the consequences, but I'm sure that those guys would never put anybody down a road that wasn't safe, or we had to worry about the people showing up. We did have a little scare that night. Like, I don't know what happened, but after first round, we was getting ready to start second round. And somebody said that there was somebody that broke into a pharmaceutical company or something. Motherfuckers was doing donuts, and the police were down there. But we had sent people out to scout and find them, and never found anybody. So we went back racing. But there's a lot of times where we show up and we don't get a whole race off. We got to move spots or whatever. And I seen Dean was kind of proud of getting a race off that night, a whole race, 10 cars even. Like hell, there's some nights where like after the second pair, the people showing up with their fancy blue and red lights.
Yeah, like I've driven through that part of town.
You know how that goes.
Plenty of times, but I've never seen any action over there.
Well, you got to know when it's happening.
Right. I mean, I went to school right down the street from it, so.
From right there? You're a West Sider?
Well, not really, but I went to.
I don't even know what to call that. Oh, okay. I'll say, I think that was like Pike Township or something, maybe. You go to Pike?
Yeah, I think Pike's right off 71st, I think.
I ain't going to say what 70-something we were at, but we was over there. It was a good time, though. It really was. It was not even stressful. Like, I've been to some that's just so fucked up and stressful. There'd be people all over the place. And, that road is weird anyway because I don't know how long it is, but I'm going to say it's maybe a half a mile long. But at the end of the road, like it's an open road. Sometimes people do turn onto the road. And I felt like a dick because when I got there, I was that guy. I did turn right onto the road, drove all the way down there, and then I realized, dude, there's like 100 people standing there waiting for me to get the fuck out of the way. So I got out of the way, but luckily there wasn't no racing going on. It was just people standing there. But yeah, that'd be cool to get some hard tire stuff on the street. Or maybe even throw them sticky boys on there and, I don't know, we'll come up with a class. Streetcar class. But I think that thing could handle it.
I've thought about doing some 26s, something like that before. But
yeah, your car's moving this year. That's good stuff.
I'd like to go back up to the Brawl and run the whole True Street deal, but them and their exhaust rule kind of.
Did you see the tracker?
Yeah.
They tried to. That thing was fast for the shit box it was. Like it looked like some junkyard motor shit going on, but it was fast. But they made a rule to try and kick his ass out, and you've seen what he did.
Right.
He put the full exhaust up and over the top of it, ran it back behind him, and boom, he was back in the game, in the rules. I like ingenuity like that.
Oh yeah.
And did he race any classes that day? He didn't race on R4 classes. I do know that, but
I'm not sure if he did or not.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't really pay much attention to outside of R4 classes. That was enough for me. I don't even know how many classes they had. Probably like R4 plus at least 2 or 3 more. So yeah, I mean, you could double winner, right?
Mm.
Can you double winner, hard tire, and True Street?
I mean, I'd have to do modifications to my exhaust too, but yeah, I could.
That's right. We'll run them all the way down to. Where does your exhaust come out at? Is it underneath or it doesn't
it's
come
in
out
the
fender
bumper.
or nothing?
It's in the bumper.
All right, so a little flex pipe, a couple feet of tubing. We'll run it right over the top of the car for aerodynamics. We'll figure this out.
Yeah,
we don't even have to do that. We could run like some drain pipe or some plastic ass drain pipe or something. We'll run it all the way to the back if they got a problem with it. We'll get about 18 feet of fucking flex pipe or something. Hope it doesn't fall off. Oh, Michael Kuhn. Did you go? Hey, Mike, did you go out first round in the banger class? I don't know if I remember seeing you second round, but I was glad to see the FSI guys there. I figured they would have done, all of them collectively would have done a little better because of Their home spot is Mentone, and that place is shitty too. I feel like it's shittier, but they say the Brawl's shittier. I don't know. I feel like there's more cracks in the Mentone, maybe. I don't know, but I feel like the Mentone guys probably would have done better there. Who got in True Street? The tracker. The tracker got in True Street. Mike, you say you did go out first round? Well, damn. I'd raise whoever. Yeah. I know with your addition to the banger class, kind of fucked things up a little bit. Nobody wanted to go redraw chips, and which that's what I pushed for, was redrawing chips, because that's the only fair way to do it. So I don't know what y'all agreed on down there. I really wasn't part of that. I was just like, all right, if y'all agreed, then we're gonna run them. But it seemed like a little controversy down there. But we made it, and John Leslie won the banger class. Are you familiar with John? Have you ever met him before? Was that your first time? Did you ever seen him run? The guy in that blue Mustang that won the banger class?
I've never heard of him.
No. Hey, he
Well,
seemed pretty fast though.
Oh, Jeffrey said he's like a Coyote stock guy. They're in the NMRA stuff too, so
Right.
they had known him, but
He made me feel good when I went and gave him his money and his trophy and all that stuff. He said that he had more fun racing at Hoosier No Prep than he did the NMRA. So that's cool.
I guarantee it.
That means a lot. You know what I mean? Like, you could be anywhere in the world and you're here with us hood rats doing this shit. So, and he had a good time.
Yeah, I think he told
Hey,
Jenny he was wanting to come do more races.
Yeah, I think he's going to be. So we got 3 races left. He said he's going to be at 2 out of 3 of them. One of them, I forget what he told me. He had something else going on, some other race somewhere. So that'd be cool. Give Jeff a run for his money, because he definitely seemed fast.
Yeah,
And,
I mean,
judging on all the pictures and stuff that he's got on his Facebook, like, that thing will stand it up on 2 wheels and get down.
yeah, I mean, that class needs more cars. I mean, need more people show up.
That's like that's probably one of. I mean, that's probably one of my favorite to watch as a spectator, just because I know how fun it is to drive a manual. Anything, I don't care what it is. Like, it could be a manual smart car. I'm gonna have fun driving that shit. So I don't know. I just like watching the banger class. So I would like to see more participation in that.
Give them guys props too, because I mean, I know I couldn't do that crap. That
Well,
2-3
if you
shit.
think about it, like, yeah, if you think about it like your car, everybody's up against the same thing as far as the surface and everything like that. But you throw one more factor into it, is now I got to shift gears and still keep traction. And those guys are figuring it out. Like Jeffrey, he's pretty much, he's followed us for long enough to where he's raced all these places and got an idea. But I thought it was cool that a newcomer came in. Maybe the Brawl wasn't a new surface to him, but he was a newcomer to us. And he went rounds. He went all the way. And I know how it is to drive a banger car. Like, traction isn't guaranteed. It's just not. So, yeah, I appreciate him coming out, especially from another series, that he follows, and, come hang out with us. Like, we're nowhere on the level of NMRA. I don't even know what kind of turnouts they have, but it's probably better than ours. So it's probably, there's probably good competition out there. I wonder how many cars they get in their banger class. What do they even call it? Stick shift?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is. I've heard Coyote stock, but I mean, that just sounds super expensive, and kind of a lot of rules if everybody's using the same engine and all that crap.
Yeah, the rules. I don't like rules so much.
It's like
Like, if
anytime
y'all
you
can show
go
up with the same
crate race,
transmission, if y'all can show up with the same transmission, I don't care what your power plan is. I hope it's better than the guy in the lane next to you. I don't want to start limiting shit like that. That just sounds weird. Yep. Well, I think I'm gonna go to our next guy, Joel. He won the King of the Cornfields. If you want to hang out, you can.
I'm gonna
If you want to
I'm
jump
gonna
off and be a spectator, what's that?
I said I'm gonna get off here. I'll see you later.
All right, man. I appreciate you, man.
Yep, we'll see you at
First
the
in
next one.
points. Good luck, man. All right, Ryan.
Thank you.
Later, dude. All right. That was Ryan Betts, our new points leader. So now, this guy, he's raced with us a handful of times. King of the Cornfields winner from Saturday, Joel Chiffont. What's up, my guy?
Not too much. Just hanging in there.
I only got one question for you, man. I lost all my other questions. Do you got pants on?
Yeah, I did put pajama pants on for this. Yeah, because I thought, man, he's gonna make me stand up. If
it's like formal all of a sudden, right?
Yeah,
that's cool.
You're like,
well,
yeah, let's do an interview.
I'm
like, yeah, if I gotta put pants on, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get on here.
They were optional. You didn't have to, but I just prefer that you like hold your phone in like landscape instead of horizontal. That's all.
Like that.
Here we go. Cover your eyes, kids. Yep. So you made it. You made it all the way through. You made it to the finals in King of the Cornfields. What? Your sound went away. What happened to your sound? What'd you do? Put a pillow on it?
Can you hear me now?
You just covering it with your finger, wasn't you?
Probably. So,
yeah,
no, I've been there
you're like
once
all the way
before,
live now.
And I was surprised how slick it was. Like my first pass down it, and
yeah.
So when I went there this time, I turned it way down and ended up putting down a personal best at that track. And then I waited a little bit closer till when we were going to start, just to see what the track was doing. I turned it up just a little, thinking there was just a little bit more traction to be had, and it went like 0.2 slower going into the small tire. And so I thought, crap, this is going to be a tough one. And then I drew Mason first round small tire, so that's a tough draw.
Yeah.
But luckily, King of the Cornfield didn't draw till later in the day, and the track just ended up getting way tighter than I thought, and just ended up having enough to get through there. So,
yeah. How close was that finals? I didn't see any finish line footage, but Jimmy's usually a pretty tough competitor.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell when you're in the car because my windshield was fogged up so bad. Like, I couldn't see Nubby lining me up. I had to have Coon, who was standing like in my windshield, showing me what Nubby was saying to get me lined up. And so I was just focusing and staying in my lane. I thought I crossed, and I was 1.5 miles from crossing, but that's just, I could not see hardly, where the groove was. I was just trying to get A to B, and when we went past the finish line, I looked in the mirror and I saw him in the mirror, so he was there, but just, it was probably a car and a half, 2 cars. So
you got the buy into the semifinal or buy into the finals?
Buy into the finals, yeah. Which that was super
I still
nice.
remember your bypass. When I seen your bypass, I was like, "Oh yeah, it's finna be a ringer," and it was.
Yeah, I put a little extra power on it. Just that's what your bypass is for. Is turn it up, see if it sticks. So that was that was a great test to see if the track would take it. I did the right lane on my bypass, and then we flipped for lane, and I got the right lane go in the finals. So I knew
feel
that
like
tune was
that
going
could
to
be
hold.
a game changer too. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that could be a game changer too, because throughout test and tune, like everybody was going to the right lane. So I just kind of assumed that the right lane was the lane to have that day.
Yeah,
so I don't
that
know
and
if
it got shaded.
was it better? Is it normally better in a right lane, or was it just better because everybody was pouring prep and making licks in the right lane?
I don't think the prep really helps that track. It's more it got shaded first, just because of where that tree line is at. So it's the first lane to catch shade. So it's going to be, maybe 10 degrees cooler. And as that track cools down, it picks up a lot of grip. So it's more temperature than just pass dependent, in my opinion.
Hey, Wes said the left lane was better for his car. I don't know how.
Yeah.
There was like 100 passes made in the right lane and like 25 in the left. Like, I really expected the right lane to be so much better than the left.
Yeah. No, so you were asking like the comparison between that surface and Mentone, and granted we haven't raced at Mentone at night, which I think would be interesting to see what it does to the surface. But when my first pass ever at the Brawl, I put a to B, no wheel speed tune up from Mentone in it, and I let off the button and I didn't move at the Brawl. I mean, it annihilated the tires. Pedaled
Just
it.
took it, huh?
Well, no, it didn't take it at all. Like, you let off the button and it spun the tires. I let off, got back in it, spins the tires again. And, like, my first pass at the Brawl was probably a 9-second pass. Like, the ugliest pass you could put down. So, it's a tricky surface to get a handle on. But at the end of the night, my draggy quit working for my last 3 passes there at the Brawl, but they were probably on par with my personal bests at Mentone. So it's
right.
It seemed like when the sun gets off of it, it does grip up, but yeah. So there's
I was nervous because I'm pretty sure I had talked to almost every driver before the race, and I would say like 2/3 of everybody there has never been there before.
Yeah.
So it was like, when testing started, like it was just a smoke show. Like, I feel like those guys that were really like running balls out, white smoking the tires and probably still hanging with some of the guys that weren't spinning like that.
Yeah.
But in the end, it all worked out.
Right. It's a cool surface. I would encourage anybody, if they're into no prep, you need to get on that surface because, if you look at Jimmy Gillen, I don't know how much power that car makes, but I bet it's a lot more than my car makes.
He's 632 cubic inches. That's what I was saying earlier. Is like he's one of those guys that on a front side. Oh man, I'd hate to line up next to him, but on the backside, it's like, can you turn it down enough, Jimmy?
Yeah,
and I feel like that's where he struggles, is turning it down enough, because everybody wants to go fast. Like nobody wants to turn it down to the point where you're running 160, 70, 60 foots.
Yeah.
What kind of 60 foots you get out there? 40s, 50s?
Like 160s. So not spectacular by any stretch of drag racing, but yeah, I mean, if you put him and I beside each other, like at Salem, nighttime at Salem, he's gonna just, wick it up and drive out of my life. But then you get on a surface like the Brawl, and it's not about power; it's about hooking it up, And so that's
Salem's one of those surfaces where it's like it's not by any means a good surface, but it's better than the Brawl. It's better than Mentone.
Yeah. I mean, it's, in my opinion, I think it's a great surface. That was the first track I ever went in 80.
It's like the best shitty. It's the best shitty surface we know of.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah, like I was. Yeah, and then I raced that. Shoot, he was there. He had that red New Edge with the white bumper. I can't remember his name.
Brian White.
Yeah, I raced him. Well, we were down there in Salem last year, and
Yeah, he won. He won both our races in Salem last year.
that
Like
car,
anybody that lined up to Brian last year was HIT positive.
yeah,
It was tough to get around Brian at Salem.
yeah, that was a fun like watching him because like you leave relatively with him, and once you hit half track, it was like that car picked up 20 mile an hour on you. So that was a lot of fun to watch, and so yeah, Salem's a fun track to get to as well.
Yeah, we got our next 2 races at Salem. You guys plan on getting down there? For
What are
either
the
one of them?
date?
August 19th, and I'm going to say, I don't know. We try to do like 3rd weekend of the month, so I really don't know what the date is. Why you put me on the spot, man? I'm going to look it up.
Or you're the promoter for it.
I can't even remember what I did yesterday, so it's like trying to remember dates.
Yeah.
I will look it up, and I will give you an honest answer.
Yeah. No,
Let's
I'll definitely try to get down there because I really like that surface. It's a lot of fun, and Hoosier No Prep and Streetcar Brawl. You guys always put on really good events, well ran events, so it's worth the time driving down there.
Yep, and also I was, anytime you run into a new deal, like I was kind of a little nervous about what was fixing to happen at the Brawl, but man, they were pretty smooth. It really was. Like, I really, because my main thing was like they have times, like this is what happens at this time, this is what happens at this time. And, at our races, it's like after chip draw, we're going to run 4 classes, then we're going to run a chip draw, and then we're going to run 4 classes, and we're going to run a chip draw. But, man, they had it figured out. It actually worked pretty smooth, and we were done early. Okay,
yeah,
so
well, that's a nice thing, too.
September 16th and August 19th. August 19th and September 16th. Both
Gotcha.
at Salem.
Yeah.
And then if you guys want to do some front side stuff, we're going to end it in Terre Haute with the double elimination deal. That shit was fun last year. That was probably our funnest race of the year, doing the double eliminations.
So how does that work? You have to lose twice before you're out.
Once you lose twice, you're back on the trailer.
That'd be kind of.
So it made for at the end of the year, for at least our series, like it made for like it jacked the points all the way up. Like it was back and forth. Every round was back and forth. You know what I mean? Like. It's better to me. It's better than like a double points deal, because a double points deal, you're still only racing X amount of rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So at least with the double elimination, like, man, you could just keep going until it's over.
Yeah.
And like I said, with the back and forth deal, like, man, it made it fun. It was probably anybody that was following points that day to see if they won a championship or were in any of the money rounds, like. It kept everybody on the edge. Like everybody's trying to figure points out every round, and then we got to the end of it, and it's time to pay guys, and I'm like, dude, I gotta figure this shit out. Y'all gotta give me a minute. You gotta give me a minute to figure it out.
Yeah.
There was a lot of rounds we just raced.
Yeah.
But in October,
too.
like in October, stuff's sketchy. It's October. Like
right.
Dew sets in, temperature drops, like. You just never know what's going to happen in October. But, man, that was probably one of our funnest races of last year, was the double elimination.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's nice, too, because if you just didn't put enough power in the car or something and just barely, got beat, and it's the last race of the year for all the points, at least you got, that second chance to go, okay, now we're going to stick the tune up and try and give it everything she's got.
I think my funnest thing was it wasn't nobody just like got in the second round and just went out. Like somebody won and then they lost and then they won, and then it was like guys were going 3 or 4 rounds before they got put on the trailer. So like it was fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's what everybody wants. They just want to make more passes. Whether there's money on the line or not, like it's just fun.
Yeah, have closer races because then everybody starts figuring out what the track's going to do, so about where you need to be with the tune-up, and like that's the biggest thing. Is like I remember the best race I ever had was the King of the Cornfields at Mentone, when I raced that big tire car in the finals. I mean, we left together. It was like
I'm trying to think who you raced.
It was like a split bumper, gray, big block twin turbo car. Big tire.
Dustin Fant? Did Dustin make it to the finals that day?
I'm not sure who it was, but like we left together. Half track, I look over, he's right there, and that big block's just screaming. And I'm holding the scramble button down. My car's starting to like get out a little bit out of shape. And like we come across the finish line, and I look like Lightning McQueen, like ka-chow across the finish line with my tongue hanging out. And it was just
so
like,
you won by a tongue?
Crap.
You won by a tongue.
Like
Good job.
I have the finish line picture still. Like it is.
Didn't you race a time or two with us at Speeds?
I did go down there, yeah.
I felt like I remember seeing you there.
Yeah, that's a fun track. That was way grippier than I anticipated it to be.
I mean, it's all concrete.
Yeah.
I mean, whether or not those before us, there was, I don't even know the last time passes were made on it before we showed up there.
Yeah.
Because Duda just bought it, and we pretty much popped its cherry.
Yeah.
But man, I would like to go back there. I would like to go back there. That's all on them, though.
Oh, really?
I would like to go back there. Yeah, they just don't really. I don't know. They don't like us so much. That's whatever. We'll go back though.
Yeah.
It might be in the middle of the night while they're sleeping. I don't know. Just have a little.
When you drive down, you drive down to that track and you kind of wonder where in the heck is a place flat enough for them to put an 8-mile drag strip around here. Because you were down in the hoops and hollers, and then all of a sudden, oh, hey, there's the drag strip.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That place is cool. It's all concrete. Plus, I don't know. It always had a good vibe there. The only thing I didn't like was, I guess, the shutdown. We've had to pull a few guys out of the end of the track. That reminds me of I think our 2020 season, the finals was Patrick Sparkman and Jeff Thomas. Patrick hits the guardrail, spins out. Everybody's checking on Patrick and trying to make sure he's good. And here comes Jeff walking down the track like, never mind me. I'm just down here in the sand trap. I didn't even know. Like I was worried about my guy. I just figured Jeff was going to come back down the return road before you know it. And no, he was down there stuck in the fucking pea gravel.
Joke. Wow.
But that was a good finals. That was probably the best finals ever that we've ever had, because they were flat out flying that night. And it's all concrete, you know what I mean? So it's going to be fast no matter what.
Yeah. I remember I raced Hillbilly Hustler first round, and the second I bumped, I went, crap, I didn't put enough in it, because I bumped and it like about threw me through the back window just on the bump. And I'm like, I should have turned it up more, because I let off the button. I was like, damn it, it just dead hooked. I mean, it was fast, but Hillbilly Hustler, like, he knew it was going to be fast, and he drove out of my life. And I thought, crap, wish I'd turned it up.
Hey, old Hillbilly Hustler was flying on the streets this weekend. Like, he raced with us up at the Brawl. And then him and Patrick both disappeared early, and I was thinking, well, damn, what's up with them guys? They ain't going to check out the last round or two? Well, come to find out, they were going to do some hood rat shit, so that's where I went. And that's Hillbilly is actually the one that put Trashy on the trailer on the streets that night.
Ooh.
But what had happened was Patrick, they were both on one. Patrick kind of drifted towards the median. There's a curb, so you can't just overlook that. So I don't know if he let it out or whatever, but man, that thing was fast. And then he ended up with Sullivan in the finals. And man, that thing, it almost looked like it just dead ass hooked. Like he jumped out a car or so on Brandon and put it through the line first. And it was a good race. It was about 5 a.m.
Yeah, I
But
woke up the next
it
morning.
was
and
good racing.
Yeah, I saw that you had posted that, and it was like, 4 hours ago this was posted. I'm like, holy crap, man! You've been out. You
I don't
guys
know
were
how
out
I made
there
it home.
Yeah,
I literally
night.
left. I left the Brawl and hauled ass. Like I don't know if I could have drove any faster in the work truck. But I got down there and I missed, I think, the first 2 or 3 pairs. But I stayed around until they finished it out, and it's a 10-car shootout on the street. That's pretty decent.
Mhm.
That's a lot. That's a lot of pairs to get down really on the street, because
Yeah,
normally after second or third pair, like, somebody's showing up to investigate what all the fucking noise is. But it was fun. It was fun, and the Hillbilly Hustler was on it, man. That thing was on it. And that's what I try to tell them guys, like, I don't discredit Brandon, and I would never bet against Brandon. Like, Brandon's probably one of the dudes I would bet on anytime we show up anywhere, but Kevin had been making tested since 11 a.m. since the track went hot. And he was at it all day, and then got sent home, and he went down there, and I know, you throw that Brawl tune up in, you're going to make an A to B, but he was making A to B's, and he was doing it fast. So I was proud of Kevin. Somebody tag Kevin and tell him I'm proud of him. I was there and I was proud of him. I didn't do any gambling. I wanted to, but I don't even think my mind was right. Like, I just wanted to go home. I had an hour drive from Indianapolis to go home, so I was tired. But he did.
yeah,
That thing was on it.
yeah.
Yep. Would you ever, I know you like those backsides and the sketchy surfaces. Would you ever do any street stuff?
I can't. I wish. I mean, it'd be fun too, but I own a trucking company, so my license and all that's my livelihood.
So it sounds like you need a driver. I'm available this Saturday, just saying. I don't know what you're doing, but if we have something lined up, bring that old badass F body or Fox body on out there.
Yeah, yeah. I've
That
only
thing-
let one other person drive it. It's one of my drivers, and because he's looking at doing some work to his Corvette, just a street car, having FSI do some work to it, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know what a fast car feels like." And so we were at Mentone at the testing tune, so I turned the car down, so it wouldn't do anything crazy. And I'm like, don't shift, just let off the button when the light comes on to shift, just let out of it. And so he gets up on the trans brake and lets off the button and runs it out, comes back. And I mean, he's smiling ear to ear, and he's like, yeah, I want something that does that. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does it got
So
like
he's-
air shift or electric shift? Like, really, you just let off the button and point it to the beam?
No, I shift it manually like a regular old dude.
Like a man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're one step above the banger class.
Yeah.
There ain't
Yeah,
too many.
it's
There ain't
funny,
too many
like-
guys that have to shift it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my car's very, very basic. Like, after the Brawl, some guys were coming up looking at it, and they're like, "Are those stock heads?" Yep, those are stock heads, and it's a stock block.
You got
and
some
a stock
243s
frame.
on there?
No, 862s.
Oh, fancy.
So the five, just a basic iron block 5.3 head aluminum block motor, but yeah, it's still on coil springs in the rear. It's coil on control arm in the rear.
Ain't nothing
So
wrong with
it's-
that. It works. Not
Yeah,
even in
it
small
works.
tire, but it worked. It worked in King of the Cornfields. So
Yeah, I'm trying to. That wasn't the trophy
what-
I went there
what-
to win, so I need to
I
get
know.
it dialed in. on the small tire trophy.
So what do you think would have happened if we'd have let the 4-wheeler in there? Because he was pushing for it.
He was, I think, I mean, his starting line was, I think we could out 60-foot him, and I think it'd have been some close racing. My biggest concern is like, it's the Brawl. It's a very poor surface, and if anybody spins out and hits him, it's one thing if I wreck into another car, we're both drivers, we're gonna walk away from it. But that's what scared the crap out of me was like, man, if I wreck,
I think that's what's. I'm not against it, but the only way I'm for it is if the drivers are for it.
yeah,
And that was my thing. Is like I had seen him testing, and like he was going from line to line. He was swerving a little bit. But my thing is like a couple door cars, like we can bump and bang at the yellow line, and everybody's
Right.
going to talk. Get down there and finish and talk about it. But what happens if you bump a 4-wheeler? I don't even know.
Well,
I don't
same
even
thing.
wanna
Like
think about it.
if we race, motorcycles or anything like that, like obviously everybody who runs small tire they're pretty good drivers. They know when to
Yeah,
get out
for
of it.
sure.
They know the limit of the car. But like I'll use Kevin for example. He spun out during testing,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
missed that, but
and so
I had
and
caught it like out of my peripherals, but
yeah,
I
and
didn't
he
really
didn't hit
catch it.
anything. Like he saved it, but he's a very experienced racer. Like he knows the limits of that truck. I'm sure it just got away from him,
Right.
and that's what
sure.
scares the crap out of me. Is like, man, if I lose this thing and I take you out, like we're gonna get a scoop shovel to pick you up off the road. Versus if I hit a car, we bang the cars up and everybody walks away.
Exactly. That's my thing with racing bikes or 4-wheelers or go-karts or just whatever. I mean, I'm not against a couple cars, banging doors going down the way, but there ain't no doors on a 4-wheeler. Like we're running your fucking arms and legs over.
Yeah.
So I'm not against it, but I would have liked to have seen somebody actually fast line up against him,
Oh,
because
I think
that thing was hauling ass.
it might have been the fastest thing on the property in all
That's
reality.
what they told me. Like he was one of the first guys I had talked to because he was there early, and I had asked him like, "What the hell is this thing?" Like I'm looking at it like I can't even make out exactly what engine's on it because it was billet. And he told me it was like a billet block Banshee, and it's got wheelie bars, and I don't know what the hell kind of tires is on it, but they look like some drag radials to me.
Yeah, it was pretty wicked. But, and that just kind of all goes back to, I guess I don't know what the Brawl's rule set is or whatever, but kind of begs the discussion of like external weight, right? Like the butt hurt bars and things like that. Like you look at all the races, why is everybody saying, no external weight? It's because usually where people are hanging them is at windshield height. So if for whatever reason, we get in a wreck and your bar comes through my windshield, like that's why,
Right.
it's just for me, it was just a safety thing on like, it would be cool. Butt hurt bars are cool. I understand the math behind it, why people are doing them. They work. But at the end of the day, like I don't want to get, somebody gets out of shape or I get out of shape and I got a bar that goes through their windshield. Like same thing with racing the Banshee.
See, I'm not against like butt hurt bars and external weight and stuff like that because what if you're racing a lifted truck or something? Now got a reach hitch coming through. Like I can't out.
Sure.
My thing is it safe? We had the dude with the Detroit 60 flywheel bolted in, and it looks intimidating, but the dude's setup was actually pretty safe. Like it was welded, it was bolted, it was like there's no way that thing's coming out without some real shit happening. Well, if real shit's happening, like we're all fucked anyway, so
Yeah.
So I don't know how to call that one. But it definitely looks intimidating. It looks like a damn saw blade on a fucking reach hitch.
Yeah. And where was that
But
at?
it was safe-ish. Terre Haute. We were at Wabash Valley on our first race. I think it'd come out for a second race with the same thing on. So I don't know if maybe it was Salem or whatever, but I'm not really like, I don't know. That's one of those deals. I'm not really for it, but it is probably safe-ish. Like I've had a guy come out with 245-pound weights zip tied to the wheelie bars, and one of them flew off during as soon as it hooked traction out of the burnout box. One of them flew off. I'm just like, dude, that ain't cool with me. Like, I don't care. I don't care about the 45-pound weights. I don't care that they're on the wheelie bars, but how are they attached to it? Zip ties ain't gonna work for me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
after it flew off, he went ahead and made us pass. But I don't even think he came back and picked that up. Like, I feel like it's probably still on the starting line. So yeah, I'm not against that stuff, but man, I just want to be safe about it because, all the people that's lined up on the right and the left side of the track, those are my people. Those are my friends. Those are my family. Those are my friends' family. Those are my friends' friends. So I want to be safe about it. So I'm not totally against all the weird shit because I know, it is what it is and it works, but let's be safe. Let's put some big bolts to it. Let's throw some welds on it even. Like, zip ties ain't going to work for me.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize the G force. Like, you pull two G's on the launch, that 45-pound weight is turned into 90, let alone if you hit a bump.
Yeah.
And it's the 3.5 on the wheelie bar. Like, now that 90-pound weight, your 45-pound weight turned into, 100 plus.
I mean, it may only be 45 pounds, but nobody wants to talk about what 45 pounds will do at 130. Like, it'll probably go through 2 cars' windows. Like, it won't just take out one kid. It might take out like 5 or 6. So that shit's scary. So yeah, I know we had went viral. That picture that I had posted, it had went viral and shit. Like Drag Illustrated, whoever had posted it, and everybody else, but that one wasn't that bad. Like, it looked intimidating, but it wasn't that bad. Like, that stuff, at least it was welded and bolted, and hell, he even had some caution tape hanging off of it. That thing was about as safe as safe gets. Yeah.
It's your fault if you cross the caution tape.
It looked intimidating, but really, like, his setup wasn't so bad. Like, it was welded and bolted, and at least he took the precautions to make it to where he didn't really give a shit. It's not like he didn't give a shit about somebody's kids or somebody's family. Like,
Yeah.
it was all right. It just looks like shit. Like, it looks like a saw blade on a reese hitch.
Yeah. So you get any work done on your truck?
Well, I went to go finish and button it up yesterday, and it started pouring down rain, so I just gave up. Today I'm here, so I'll probably finish it up tonight, if not for sure tomorrow. Because, man, I'm dying to go do some racing. Like, I haven't got to do anything this whole year.
Yeah. Is it going to be fast?
No. Need to put Fox bodies in their own class at the Brawl because they're fast. Fast. What's fast? No. I'm just going to say no. Hell no. It won't be fast, but it'll be fun. I mean, it's a 5.3. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't nothing special.
That's all I got.
Yeah, see? I'm going to say you ain't fast either, but you got trophies, so you're fast.
I thought about getting them out of the shop and setting them over here or something, because I got 2 of the King of the Cornfields. So I really want to get a small tire one, but I have to keep chipping away at that.
I got one. I don't even deserve one. I got a spare. I still got it. Nah, we had our Indiana versus Ohio deal last year, and we had a modern muscle class, and 0 modern muscle dudes showed up, so I got a trophy still. Which you would think that would be a big class. Like, there's so many Hellcats and Trackhawks and Camaros and Mustangs and all that shit out there that just fit in the rules, and you can drive them right through the gate and go win some money and a trophy, and nobody showed up that race.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Yeah. Be interesting to see. They got that Streetcar Race Wars. That's this Friday or Saturday in Muncie, which is more street modern muscle oriented.
Big shout out to to Whole Shot Media, one of our sponsors.
Yeah.
He's up there, right under there, somewhere. There he is. Hold on, I gotta find it. Left is right, right is left. So good job, Blake. You hear that? The man's talking about your race. Now, I would actually like to go up to one of those this year. Me and Blake got a roll race. We gonna do. I ain't never done no roll racing, but I'm gonna give it to him.
Yeah.
At least 8th mile.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, my car is not a street car, but I could drive it to the Muncie drag strip from my house. And
How far are you?
So I might go down go down there, but there's not really, because it's all quarter mile stuff. And I'm like, man, my car only goes like 155, 160 max. And I can, on a prep surface, I assume it's prepped or, well.
You get you one of those fancy light up trophies and stuff, say 150 mile an hour club and all that.
Well, that's the thing is that's everything's quarter. So by the time, like I could, on a prep surface, you know how fast we can go on a prep surface. So it's like
all the way.
I'm going to be slowing down by the time we get to the quarter.
Right. Hey, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Woo! Hey man, when you gotta go, you gotta go. That's all I know.
I get that. I was looking at the comments. I don't know who Caleb is.
I could have.
Caleb Wisher.
Caleb, where we at?
I'm trying to look at his profile, but it won't pull up.
Caleb Wisher. I don't know him. We heard that. We'll go ahead and put him up here though, where everybody knows who we talking about. You were looking at Joe, the white S10, the one with the turbo hanging out of the hood. Is that the one we're talking about?
Yeah, I talked to him at the Brawl.
Yeah.
It's got like a S485 on it.
Yeah, I didn't really catch what his setup was, but he was rolling.
Yeah,
he actually made it a little farther and faster than I thought. What's up, Blake? There's Blake. Hi, Blake. Blake, if he's not at the racetrack, he's on a cruise ship. That's all you need to know about Blake. He likes glue, he likes scissors, and he likes crayons. And he's a good guy.
Yeah. So can we do like a roll versus dig at Muncie?
That would be fun. That would be fun. I would be into
because
that.
I don't know. I just think that'd be fun. Like, you get a Corvette or something that, they can't dig versus like a small tire car. And then, okay, so they get to do a 40 roll. And as soon as they pass you, we can let off the button and see, but only run it to the 8th though.
I don't know why. Well, I don't know about the 8th, but I feel like they've had a roll versus dig kind of deal there. I'm about to send Blake. We about to get Blake on here, and he'll answer those questions.
See, this is good publicity.
That's right. Yeah, there you go, Blake. I sent you the link. You pop up. We'll bring you on. But yeah, that would be fun. You wouldn't think that would be any way competitive because while a guy's passing you, I don't know what kind of roll they do, 40, 50, 60 mile an hour. You would think somebody passing you at the starting line at 60 mile an hour, you ain't got a chance. But, man, that's where all these small tire cars, that's where they just start eating at.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I don't know how many mile an hour they can get before the tree there at Muncie. Like, I feel like if you're going to do a 40 roll, like, you got to you'd have to really get on it to get up to 40 before you're at the tree. But then again, I've never.
So? I don't know.
I've
There's
never
a pretty
done.
good. There's probably a good 50, 75 yards before from the tree to the fence. I think they start all the way back at the fence, so
Yeah,
it's
I
probably a
haven't been there
decent
for
amount
the roll
of.
racing, so I've never watched them. I've just been down that track. I guess maybe there's more room there than I'm thinking.
I don't know how that shit works at all, but I'm just thinking like I could probably get in first gear. I could probably shift into second, and maybe if you had it on like maybe like a button on a 2-step or something, you could da 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 da, and then boom, you'd be gone.
Yeah, put your
I feel like that would work.
like reconfigure your bump button as like a rolling 2-step,
Right.
maybe.
There you go. Hey Blake, we got questions.
I got answers, brother. What's going on?
All right, that's what I like. You're not on a cruise ship, so that's cool. I mean, not cool, but it's cool.
Not on a cruise ship. It's about 118-ish, and some odd hours away. So
You'll probably be there tomorrow, though, so we better get questions in today.
if I could, I would.
Me too. You gotta start sending out invites. I'm poor folk. Like, we gonna have to plan on this shit, but I would
I'm telling you,
like to go on a
not
cruise.
to hijack a racing call. Cruises are pretty cheap. It's exactly why we go. I mean, compared to your other trips, we'll all break it down.
Is there any cruise trip? Is there any cruise ships with a drag strip on them? Because I feel like we could probably.
I don't know if I'd leave.
I don't know either. Like, I feel like I would just stay on the boat and promote racing.
I would probably do the same.
I'd bring all my buddies to be on the boat.
Oh yeah. So.
Yep. So what's up? Can we have like a roll versus dig kind of deal or what?
So we actually did that quite a few times last season. So it's nothing really new to the program. It's just it takes a lot of setup, and it takes people who have a brain as drivers to be able to accomplish that feat. And I'm trying to put that as nice as I can. I can't just take everybody who comes in there to just do it and off we go. It takes somebody who knows their car and knows how to race to be able to do that. So with that being said,
I almost feel like we could have like a arm drop for the dig guy. Like,
so what?
I mean, it's almost like the roll guy gets a head start. So like, as he's coming up to the line, like you could have somebody drop an arm.
If John lets me finish here, my wife.
Go ahead.
Wife,
Sorry.
So
Sorry. Hell, I'll bring her on too. You want me to send her a link? We'll all jump on here. Let's make it a family affair.
She's right here. It's all good. But what we actually do, if you came out, John, you would know. But hey, we actually have.
I'm trying.
We actually have these light poles we bought that we set out at the 60-foot mark. So we make sure both cars are good. My starter in the back sends the roll card to go forward, and then we actually auto start the tree. So the dig racer is not going off the tree. They're going on the light poles in front of them. And once that roll card gets to a certain point, I know to change that light pole so that dig racer knows it's time to go. So in a theory, you're kind of chasing. Is
there a such thing as like a jump or a red light or something on that deal? Or
no, there's not really a red light because the tree's already activated. And
it seems like a little human error. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a perfect system by any means, but we definitely got it down to a pretty good science last year, and it all falls on pretty much my shoulders to get the timing right, which I fucked up a few last year, but once you get the timing right, it flows perfectly.
That's the human error coming into it.
Exactly.
That's kind of like, cutting a good light. Like, you got to practice a little bit.
Yes, you do.
Before you get good at it. That's cool, though. And I still do plan on coming out to a whole shot event. I just haven't had a running race car. But
you don't have to have a running race car, brother. We get everything that runs from 90 miles an hour to 100.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do? A foot race?
I'll foot race. Hell, give
I want to race you.
Well, get you something.
I want to race you.
Get you something.
I'm trying to give me one of them fancy 115-mile-an-hour trophies or something.
Dude, bring whatever you want. we don't discriminate, man. We have fun. That's
I know you do. I know you do, man.
Come have fun.
Don't think my lack of being there is lack of participation, because I do follow that shit, and I like what you guys are doing out there.
Appreciate that. So
It's kind of like, it's to me it almost feels like the local version of like a streetcar takeover.
yeah, it's something where obviously I raced that this weekend, and a lot of our racers don't race that because one, they feel they're not competitive. It's a lot of money to go race SCT, and it's just a different crowd. You have your more serious,
Right.
your veteran, more experienced people racing that because you're spending a small fortune just to go do it. You could damn near pay for a cruise just for paying for SCT. But
Yeah.
we have just a good humble crowd who just they're there for a good time. And when we want to mix in like roll versus dig,
That's the best kind of people to have to follow any series, is people that want to have fun. Like, because I've been to a few other races and it seemed like people show up and they want to argue and they want to fight and they want to bitch and they want to complain, and it's like, that ain't fun. That ain't fun for nobody. I know y'all ain't having fun if that's what you showed up to do. So
exactly. And
so I look at your races and it looks fun.
Yeah. Mostly everybody comes out there to have fun. We might, have one person say, "Hey, I want to get, more passes in," and we'll take care of them. But and that's also kind of what's nice, is we have free range to do whatever we want to do. Hell, we had go-kart races last year. Evan and I raced our electric scooters last year. I mean, it's except for a snowmobile, I think we've had just about everything out there. So.
You've never had a snowmobile? That's because everybody in Indiana has sold them because it doesn't snow here anymore.
Dang, you shut up. It's probably gonna be terrible now this year.
I'm down. I got a snowplow. Well, let's go.
No.
Let's
I
fucking
don't
go.
want, no, sir. No.
Well,
no.
Just call me when you're ready. Just call me.
We'll
get you hooked up. We get that driveway cleared. You probably got a heated driveway. Don't play.
No, I don't.
You probably got it.
Hey, if anything, I got two Huskies that'll dig me out of anything.
That's right. They will. Hey, you just throw a sled on there, and we're going to the corner store to get some Mountain Dews and beef jerky.
Joel, I know you were kind of talking about Friday. Do you have any questions or something I can answer or kind of do for you for Friday to make sure you're out there and get whatever you need?
I see. My schedule's always tough because I don't know what our work schedule looks like. So I can never commit to, oh yeah, we're going to be there. I mean, so I would definitely be interested in coming out on Saturday if we could do like some kind of roll versus dig, or heck, I might try and roll race the car. You're going to see how long it takes a 5.3 to spool a GT55. But we're going to roll past the starting line and be like, and now it's going.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun. I can't run my stuff out to the quarter. There's no way I have enough gear to do it.
And if we had a big enough crowd, to where we did some 8th mile stuff, I tried. I get it. The small track crowd that's not their thing, and a lot of them make fun of it. I get it. It's not for everyone. But if we ever want to do some 8th mile shootout, we can put it together like that. It takes 5 minutes. I've got sponsors who would be all over it, but it just takes people who say, all right, we'll be there, show up, and I think people would be surprised with the amount of money you can actually make doing it. Everyone's all about grudge racing and this and that. Come on out. Put $400 or $500 up. I might put something on top of that. For somebody, and go home with a wad of cash roll racing. You never know.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the event you put on is good. I've actually never been to one, but like I got, friends I went to high school with and all that just have, they got a 5.0 Mustang it's got a 100 shot of nitrous on it.
Yep.
Or just just very basic street cars. And that's like the highlight of their year is they get to take their, cause it's not fast in the world of race cars.
No.
Like you line a 5.0 with a 100 shot up against anything that's on a slick tire, it's like, whoa. But you line it up against a bunch of other street cars. Like now, you know, they have something, and I think it's a great event. Like, you know, I see all those guys posting it on Facebook. Like, it's just a big, you know, get together, and I think it's a great event because there's a lot of these, you know, small tire events, but there's not so many of like the street car oriented, you know, roll race, which again, I'm not a big roll racer, but there's a place for it.
And that's what I like that about Blake's events is like they're definitely like a streetcar oriented event. Like there might be some, you know, race cars that pull up, but the majority of it is straight up drive through the gates and bust that ass cars.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. The more just basic build, you know, nothing, you know, if I drive this car every day, I'm not going to, you know, make 1,000 to the tire. It makes 400 to the tire.
And I think a lot of promoters and even racers lose sight on where they started. You know, like back in the
100%.
day, that was you, and you needed a place to race and you know and learn and grow and do everything. And people forget real quick. Oh, that was actually me too.
So my first,
I would like to say I've never been a roll racer, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that like we haven't rolled on the street. I've never road raced at the track, but that's where it came from, was the street, and it is a thing. And you know, if you're one of those cars that like, especially if you're a lower budget guy and you don't have like a stall, you know, to get off the line, and you know you don't have this or that, like roll racing is that's a real thing. Like I've had some of the best times of my life roll racing straight up on Madison and right there in Indianapolis. You know.
Yep.
Yeah. No,
So,
my first race ever.
I don't get it, but I get it.
Yeah. I raced John Rogers because my car was a stick shift car. And John Rogers has that, was it a 240 with a 2JZ? Fast. It was the fastest stick shift car in the world the time I raced him. And
He got that ass,
yeah,
didn't
I
he?
wish. Dude, it was nuts.
He taught you a lesson.
I never rolled up to a tree before, just never done it before. And I'm like, you know, I don't want to screw him up. And so like he lights a bulb, I light a bulb. He lights a bulb, I light a bulb. And his car's just going nuts. And as soon as the light turns green, he pulled, it was a 110 60 foot at Muncie.
Damn.
And I'm in my Fox body, which was a stick shift at the time. Yeah, like, and I'm like, my car made 450 to the tire, and like he let out at probably the 330, coasted through the quarter, and still beat me. Like that was my
Humbled
first,
that ass.
Yeah, that was my first pass ever. So I kind of wish I would have went to like the roll racing or more street car stuff, because then you don't get literally half tracked everywhere you go. Like you're with cars that are comparable to what you have.
Exactly.
I mean, the Mustang ain't no slouch. You better give it some credit. Like you got
it used to be. Now
you got
now
one
it's
of
all
these.
Right. Yeah, now it
got one of
gets
those.
down okay. I put a lot of money in it since then though, so
That helps. Always.
That does
I don't give a
help.
Shit, what kind of car you got? That helps. But at least you wasn't in a 2JZ, because then your money would have just been like, oh wait, you got new injectors, bud. You don't have big boy parts yet.
yeah. Man, that was
Yep. So you're Blake. You're Saturday night. Is that what you are?
No,
Saturday
we're
night or
Friday night. Friday night, yeah.
Friday. Okay, so Friday. Anybody with license plates, head up to Muncie.
Absolutely. We'd
They got
really appreciate
all
it.
kinds of classes.
And then
How many classes do you have up there? You got several, don't you?
we actually don't do many classes. Sorry, I'm trying to finish the game at the same time I'm talking to you. I was totally being a nerd whenever you guys tagged me. But we don't do classes for dig racing just because it's such a short window. We have people who come out there just to get some, data, and that's done. But for the roll portion, it's still open grudge, test and tune, yada yada. Like normal with our VIP lane. But then we're also doing kind of a what SET does with their street racer class, and what we're doing with our extreme radio class for the actual drag events. We're letting everyone qualify together, and then I'm going to break it up in certain groups, and then it's going to be roughly a heads-up race, we're going to set a mile-an-hour limit because no one wants to come out there and get their doors blown off, by
Right.
Travis Martin. I don't want to come out and race him. It's not because I don't like the guy, but we're all going to win, or at least get the feeling that we're competitive. If racers don't even feel like,
do you guys have
back?
do you guys have any index classes or anything like that? Is there any?
Not for Friday night. Now for the big,
Okay.
I don't want to say big, but for the drag event, yes, we do. We have indexes. We have small tire, no time. We have stick shift. We have everything for that.
Okay.
So is this a Friday, Saturday thing or just Friday?
Just Friday.
Okay, this Friday.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what time does it start?
Open gates at 5, on track 5:15, 5:30 ish.
Okay.
They've got a rental that day, so the track should be good and ready to go real quick. And then we will do dig racing until about 7:15, 7:30 ish, and then do a little bit of track maintenance and prep, and then go straight into roll racing after that from about 7:30 ish to about 11.
Cool. And then 11's curfew.
No, that's honestly just when everyone leaves.
Gotcha.
We plan to be there till midnight, but we keep the program rolling fast enough where I've had guys and they'll be like, look, I've got 40 slips, and they've gone through a whole freaking tank of gas in their stock neon, because we keep it going.
Yeah.
There's really not much downtime, so
I like no downtime. I don't care what race it is. I like no downtime. I don't know how to do no downtime on some races. Like, it gets tough, but I like no downtime.
Yeah. So
that's one thing I did like about the Brawl is in between every class, like, man, there was not a shortage of test and tune cars. Like, there was always somebody on the track all day long.
Yeah. Wes, I don't want any piece of that car on a prep surface. On no prep, we'll run them all day, but on prep, I know how much power that thing makes. I don't want any piece of it.
Yeah. Well,
was it Wes Norman? Oh yeah. That car's quick.
We got one more guest on here, so we're gonna get to him. That's our small tire winner, Greg. So I'm gonna bring him on here. If you guys want to stay on here, that's cool. If you're ready to go, just let me know.
I'm just here to enjoy the party.
That's right. Whole Shot Media. There he is. Greg, how do you say your last name, man? I don't want to fuck this up for the first time. How do you say your last name? Olajarez? Olajarez?
It's Olajars.
Say it.
Olajars.
I was close enough. Enough.
All good.
All right. So I heard that you built that car basically for the Brawl surface, right?
Pretty much.
Is that your home track?
My Fox body won, I think, 4 or 5 of the Brawls back when we first started the Brawl. Slowly everyone else started getting faster, and the Mustang was just kind of staying the same. So started building this thing.
I appreciate you building something other than a Mustang, man.
Yep.
Big fist bump for that.
Yeah.
I'll shake any man's hand that wants to build anything other than a Fox body.
Yeah,
hey, when I seen that thing, like, I was thinking,
but
when I seen that thing pull up through the lanes, and I think it was even Test and Tune, I was looking out like, man, that's fucking cool. Like, I don't care what it is or how fast it is, it's cool. And then it took off, and I was like, he's been here before.
Yep. Yeah, well,
he'd been here before. He done this.
So that was
the
third Brawl I ran. I ran the first one in April, and then I think one in May, and then that was the third one. So,
well, man, you had that thing moving, dude.
Yeah,
from the get go, like you were making, like, on your first pass, like I was up there for most of the Test and Tune, and you were up there making licks first, second pass, like, and all of our guys that showed up with us, like, we're out to lunch, like, we're spinning tires for 600 foot.
Yeah, I went to the final.
So I was thinking maybe that
was with this thing. So,
hey, you did that.
Yep.
Yep. And who? I can't even remember who was in the finals.
Chase.
Oh, it was Chase.
Yep.
And that's a big accomplishment, because that dude races backsides only.
Yeah.
Like it's a exclusively backside car only.
He beat me in the finals of the first Brawl in April. And that was the first time I had this car at the Brawl. And ran pretty good.
Yeah.
So a little rematch on Saturday and got the win this time.
Yep. So what is it? It's a truck, right?
Yeah, it's a 41 Ford pickup.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it definitely looked cool. Big old whirly boys hanging out the front of it.
Yeah, it's basically the engine and turbo setup out of my Mustang, but then everything else is new, different trans, different chassis. Obviously, rear end, everything else is new.
So, do you only race this on the backside, or have you ever front sided, or what?
I did War in the Woods, not Gangster Paradise, but the normal War in the Woods.
Right.
So I do front side stuff, but I've been up to Milan with it, the backwards race up there. So I'd like to get out to one of the Muncie backwards ones. I try sticking to the backwards stuff, but I'll race some front side stuff too.
I think it's I don't know. Like, it's hard to really, tell me what is fast on the front side and what's fast on the back side, because man, I've seen dudes that are front side guys be out to lunch on the back, and I've seen guys that are on the back side out to lunch on the front. But
yeah, it's hard to switch back and forth too, because I was getting ready for
sure.
the Woods, the last Brawl. So I had a tighter stator in it to get ready for War in the Woods, and the car was just not happy at the Brawl. So Adam put me out basically. So
and War in the Woods is one of those tracks that's like, it's sketchy, but it's still a front side. It's still fast. You just have to overcome the surface itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I lost.
So where you're from? You're from up north, right?
Illinois.
Oh, okay, Illinois. That's cool. So you're definitely up there by that US 41, right?
Correct. Yeah, I'm like 45 minutes or so away from 41 across the border.
Would you say that's your home track then?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I've been going to the Brawl.
That's why you spanked all our asses right there.
I got a bunch.
No,
of
everything was flying though, man. Hey, it was. Like that finals, it was a good finals too.
Oh, definitely. Yep.
How close was it? I wasn't down there near the finish line, so I don't really know. But how close was it?
Brian was going to send the finish line video. I haven't got it yet, but I want to say maybe like half a car or something. I had a GoPro on my car.
Close.
I back at it, but like half a car or so.
Half a car is a good race, especially in the finals.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you?
Grip.
How far do you get out? Like our next two races are at Salem Airport, so it's not a backside, it's definitely not a front side, but it's an airport.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that before. I just haven't made it out there yet, but I travel. I was down in St. Louis like a month or so ago racing. Like I said, I go up to Milan in Michigan, so I get around. But
man, you should definitely check it out. Like it's more than anything else. Like the vibe of that place is just fucking fun. Like
yeah,
that's a good
one
fun
of the reasons the Brawl is
at.
one of my races.
I had fun at the Brawl. Like
yeah.
It was a little learning curve for me because they were basically running the race, but I was there to do our end of it, and but they still ran it the way they ran it. So it was like it was a little bit for me to catch up on and get up to speed. But man, I had fun out there. Like that was a fun race. That's probably my funnest race this year out of all of our races.
Yeah, I enjoy it there.
Yeah, they do a good job. They do a good job down there. That's one you got to worry about. That's one you got to worry about right there.
Yeah.
Corey Ford, you ever been in a lane with Corey?
I have.
You have, all right. Yeah, that's a tough competitor right there.
Corey's fast, and he always seems to be even faster at Salem for some reason or another. That boy flies at
Corey. He's been to a few of our races, and then I seen him at Salem. against he went to the finals against Kendall Goen.
Yeah.
But man, Corey's one of those dudes that he's just fucking fast. Especially the worse the surface is. Like I've known Corey from the street. And it's hard to beat him out there. So any sketchy surface, I would say.
So I don't even know, probably 5-6 years ago or something now, at least.
Yeah. Did he get you or did you get him?
He beat me.
Yeah, see. That's why I don't want to be in a lane next to him.
It's all good.
Fast.
I raced
He's
him
fast.
once. I got lucky. We were at Muncie backside, and his car like pulled a wheelie and spun the tires somehow, and it was like just enough to let me get out by a car, and that's the only time I raced him. So I got that medal too. Is I beat Corey. So
Good job.
that's a pretty big one. I don't want to race him
I feel
again.
like I would want a trophy just for beating Corey. Like, Corey's fast.
Yeah.
And my favorite memory of Corey was him pulling up to our first Ohio versus Indiana race there at Marion County. And he was the last guy standing. We had Fensler. I think he had went out with some transmission problems or something like that. So it was only Corey left, and I'm like, man, this is it. This is us. That's our only shot left, and he ended up winning the whole thing. And he took out Perry Stanley. And if you know that guy, like he don't fuck around either. Like that's a fast car, and he beat him. So I was so proud of him. I thought I was going home with my head down, loser. Nope. Thanks, Corey. Keeping them W's up. So yeah, he's somebody I would never want to pull up in a lane next to. He says no, he's washed up. No, come on, bro. Retired. Not washed up, retired. You got a kid now. He says it's been a long time. I got Lucky Greg's playing around.
Yeah, it's
Such
been
a humble
hard.
dude.
I haven't had a car out in a couple of years, and then this, like I said, this is the first season out with this thing, so it's a whole new ball game from the Mustang. So I've just been trying to get it situated and whatnot. So
It seems like it's coming around. I mean, it's,
Yeah,
it's
slowly.
definitely fast.
we'll get there.
I was watching it from its first round, and I was thinking from the first round that, you were a contender, like semifinals at a minimum.
Yep.
You end up going to the finals and taking home the money, so
Yeah.
got you one of those.
Yes, sir. I got it. I got it right here.
There's only so many dudes that have one of those, man. That's
Yeah.
like, hang that on the shelf. Be proud of that dude.
Yep. Yeah, the Brawl used to have piston style trophies too, so I have a handful of those too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, they've been at it since 2017, so
Yeah, a long time.
that's cool. Look, Joel cut out on us. His phone must have died. Oh, mine died too. All right, fuckers, man, I'm gonna get off here. What are you laughing at, Roll Racer? I'm coming.
Hey,
I'm coming.
I'm
I'm not gonna be there this weekend, but I'm coming.
There's no one that does as much variety of racing. I bracket, no prep, backside, front side, roll. I do everything. So I don't.
I know you do.
Everything.
No, I mean, I'm not talking shit. The only thing I'm talking shit about is I want one of those 115-mile-an-hour trophies.
Come earn it.
Y'all gonna make me a 115-mile-an-hour trophy.
Earn it.
I'm gonna earn it. I might do 120.
If you talk to the nice one, you might get it sooner.
There you go.
All right, I would talk to you nice. I'm gonna talk to you nice. I might even get one of those shirts.
Hey, we haven't told everyone yet, but Friday night we're gonna do half price merch night. So.
Oh yeah, so I can get me one of those "Who Shot Me" shirts,
I can make you one.
or Whole Shot Media, or whatever they are.
There you go.
Who shot me? I don't know. Whatever they mean.
Bless your heart, John.
All right, fellas, man. I appreciate your time.
Yep.
Blake, man, I ain't gonna make it out there this weekend, but I am gonna make it to one before the end of the year. I promise you that.
All right.
You got my pinky promise, brother.
We'll see you there, brother.
I'm gonna come out there. We're gonna roll race that thing.
Bring
And
it.
Greg, man, hey, good job on your race Saturday. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. If you wanna check out some more sketchy shit, let's go to Salem. We'll be there August 19th,
The 19th.
and then again September. I think. I would double check, but
One hell of a September, I think.
yeah, then we'll be there again in September. So,
All right,
the next
sounds-
2 months we'll be at September at least once, or in Salem. But I
Sounds good.
appreciate your guys' time. I'm gonna jump
Yep.
off here, and we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
Later, fellas.